So, welcome everyone for this session on right diet for heart health. And if you want to take notes, so please keep a pen and paper ready because this is a good time for introspection. कई लोगों को already diet chart दिए गए हैं, diet book है, but today is like उनके लिए revision. Like we can learn some new concepts, and I also want to like in the audience we have a very special guest, Dan Norwood. Dan, you can wave your hand please. Yeah. Okay, so you can see Dan Norwood. He is a lawyer from Memphis, Tennessee, USA, and he has flown all the way from US to take EECP treatment with us. He has done, yeah, if you can see, so he has come in all the way. So I generally speak in Hindi, but I have to respect Dan because he's there. So Dan, please excuse me. I'm going to talk in English and Hindi and I'll cover up. Okay. So I want you to feel welcomed in our country. Thank you for making that 10,000 miles of journey. And this is, many people feel that, oh, center is far and this and that. Maybe we will let Dan talk how he feels being in Mumbai, and he has been to so many hospitals in US and what is his experience. So we will hear from him. And today I feel that diet is so important because 50% of the heart problems are actually caused because of faulty diets. मतलब अगर हम हार्ट प्रॉब्लम को कंट्रोल करना चाहते हैं तो डाइट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, एंड मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर अच्छे डाइटिशियन होंगे तो शायद कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट की जरूरत भी नहीं पड़ेगी. सो we have Manisha with us. She's a very, very excellent dietitian whose mission in life is to help people, staying away from hospitals the way what our mission is. She has, her father, by the way, was a cardiologist. So she is a daughter of a cardiologist, okay? And she has been with us for more than 20 years and following the work based in Dubai. She had a very, very successful career in corporate world, but then she realized that she wants to help people remain healthy. So she did functional medicine, nutritional courses from US, and now she is serving and helping her clients to find out what is wrong in their diet, go to the root cause and correct that so that people can have a better life. So without taking much time, I am going to hand over to Manisha ji, who has given us her time today and share that how the latest dietitian principles like based from functional medicine are important and applicable. So Manisha ji, can you please like little bit talk about functional medicine concepts, and how to implement it for the heart patients?
Hello. Yeah. Hello, good morning. And wherever you are, like good evening, Dr. Pratiksha. And thank you so much for having me here today. And a very happy morning to everybody. Now, before I come to the topic, I would just want to say a word about the conventional cardiologist that Dr. Pratiksha was, and still she has chosen to be a preventive one. That's an awesome thing. And the one thing that I can say, hats off to you. And hats off to all those doctors who are doing this wonderful, awesome job, which is very close to the divine supreme power. And so now let's coming to the topic of diet. If I'm talking about diet, the right diet for the heart health. And if I talk about it, if I say what is the right diet for heart health, looking through the functional medicine lens. So when I look at it through functional medicine health lens, the answer should be, what should be the response is that a diet which is dense in nutritional value, which is nutrient dense diet, and the one diet which is even right for the entire systemic body's health. So any diet here in functional medicine health, like somebody coming with heart issue or any organ issue, any organ is not being looked at as an isolated entity, but the entire body is being looked at one unit, and everything is considered to be highly interconnected inside our body, even the environment that we are living in. So here the term that we will be using is bio-individual, that I would like to talk about. What is bio-individuality? And as Dr. Pratiksha, you said, like, it can also jump into Hindi and English is fine, or we have to okay.
Yeah, yes, please, perfectly fine, because you'll have to jump in so that we can cater to everyone. Thank you for asking.
Perfect. Yeah. So, the bio-individuality term, why I want everybody to understand here, I will come to the diet for sure. What is a general diet and those healthy stuff, which is healthy for heart, because this is all about that we are talking about heart. And, but, let's start, with the concept, like how we look at it through functional medicine. Here, like, I can give you an example. That, two people coming with the same issue. Ek issue hai exactly heart ka. And when in functional medicine, it is considered that, like in conventional medicine, when somebody comes with the same issue, what is looked at is what has happened and what is the line of treatment. But in functional medicine, what we look at is why has this happened and who is this person. So, to look at this, we get into the root cause, go upstream to check what the person has been done so far. What has created so much of oxidative stress and damage to the heart that the person has reached to this stage. So looking at it, suppose two people, as I said, has come with the same issue. And when after probing further, it has been found that one person has a wonderful diet. There was no issue with the diet. Lifestyle was also good. And the other person definitely didn't have a very good lifestyle or acha diet nahi tha. So jab humne probe kiya ye, so do you think the diet will be same for both the people? No, it cannot be. We'll have to understand ki inko jinka diet was not good and the other person who had a fairly good diet, why the person has got into that place. So understanding it is very important in functional medicine. So then there is the food that we talk about is of two types. And here in Prashivyog, I can see that it is already being followed, everything that I'm going to talk about. So there are two types of diet, and first type of diet is called primary food. And second is secondary food. Primary food, we serve in the platter couple of things. As I said, it is already being followed here. And it's such a heartwarming, and I feel so happy to see that, primary food is something which is, I can say, starts with the mental emotional health. Now, mental emotional health, when I'm talking about, is with most of the person who comes with that kind of issue, it happens if it has been further probed, ki 10%, 10% is that has happened. But 90% is how we perceive. So उस पे भी हमारा heart का health depend करता है. So we just check that and address that in partnership with the person. Then the second part of the primary food is relationships. Relationship में सब कुछ मायने रखता है, matter करता है, everything around you and your relationships with your people, with your loved ones, everybody, and even with food. What kind of relationship that person has been sharing with food. As we are talking about diet here, so with diet, there are people, they will eat even the healthy food, but not in a right way. So what is the right way of eating a healthy food? That is also being addressed here, made the person to understand. Then it comes exercise. So exercise, what kind of exercise the person has been doing? Is it helping or harming the person? Is it heart friendly? So then, there is also, this has been addressed. Then there is a couple of many other things that I'm just going to talk about, few of them. Then the stress at the workplace. So the person who was eating good diet, when it was found, further probed, it was found the person had a very high stressful job. तो जॉब के स्ट्रेस की वजह से even the person reached the same place of the heart issue. So even though the person was eating good diet, then we just check if there is enough joy in life. जॉय के लिए बहुत सारे तरीके हैं जो आपको हैप्पीनेस ढूंढना पड़ता है अपनी जिंदगी में हार्ट को खुश रखने के लिए, so that your heart can sing, dance and keep thanking you. So we have to find those things. Last not the least, here I would like to mention, whatever faith you are coming from, you need to have some spiritual practice. So वो spiritual practice also keeps your heart grounded and all the good hormones keeps secreted. जब कभी आप स्पिरिचुअल प्रैक्टिस करते हैं या जॉय के तरीके ढूंढ रहे हैं, तो हमारे अंदर जो हार्मोन्स होता है, हार्मोनल चेंजेस, वो बहुत ही ड्रामेटिकली होता है, तो अच्छे हार्मोन्स निकलने शुरू होते हैं. सो नाउ here the person who came with stress, he had developed the issue, and the other person who had diet related issue. तो यहाँ पे दोनों को एक डाइट नहीं देते हैं, प्लाटर दो अलग सर्व किया जाता है, प्राइमरी फूड एंड सेकेंडरी फूड. नाउ द पर्सन हु कम्स विद द डाइट इशू, वी go to the diet part now. That is secondary food. Secondary food is the food that is on your plate, in your plate. So now I'm talking about that. But here also, you must have heard, कहते हैं ना, we are what we eat. लेकिन यहाँ पे in functional medicine, we say it is oversimplified. We are what we eat. इसको rephrase ऐसे करते हैं. We are what we eat, digest, absorb, convert it into the bioavailable form, and is our body letting it get passed through our cell membranes. तो ये इस पूरे चीज पे हमारा डिपेंड करता है कि हमने जो कुछ खाया, मे बी दैट इज हेल्दी, वेरी हेल्दी, लेकिन क्या ये सारे स्टेप्स हमारे बॉडी के अंदर हो रहे हैं प्रॉपरली, और देयर इज सम डिसफंक्शनल. कोई डिसफंक्शन अगर किसी भी स्टेप के बीच में आ गया, तो हमने कितना भी हेल्दी खाया, maybe the result won't be the same. So this also here, when I consider about diet, this is again a question of bio-individuality. That in functional medicine, that is checked. That if the person is having any digestive issue, so that is addressed first. Where what is getting stuck? Why person is eating so well, still the person is not getting the benefit out of it. तो ये देखना जरूरी है. अब फंक्शनल मेडिसिन में हम जो कुछ भी डाइट बताते हैं, लेट मी टेल यू, एवरीथिंग और इवन द सप्लीमेंट्स, एवरीथिंग इज वेरी क्लोज टू नेचर. यहाँ पे नेचर के हम जितने करीब हों, उतना हमारा हार्ट हेल्दी होता है. ये समझना बहुत जरूरी है. तो यहाँ अगर नाउ आई एम कमिंग टू द सेकेंडरी फूड, एंड हियर आई एम गोइंग टू टेल यू, गिव यू ऑल bit of some general diet that irrespective of what I have talked so far, everybody can use. It's applicable to everybody can have it. So first few tips that I'm going to give you. Morning, what do you do when you wake up? First thing is drinking water. Drink water. Maybe if you have been suggested contraindicated by your practitioner, by your heart doctor, Dr. Pratiksha, Dr. Prasad, so then you can just check with them also. But I can just tell you, start your day with water, a glass or 2 glasses. And that has to be how warm, not necessary. If you have digestive issues, it will add to it. तो कोई जरूरी नहीं है, रूम टेम्परेचर पे पानी पीजिए. Second thing I would say, eat everything that is least processed. Least processed. अब least processed में क्या हो रहा है? तो ज्यादातर जो हम खा सकते हैं, जो नेचर के करीब हो, जिसमें प्रोसेसिंग नहीं हो, ट्रांस फैट्स नहीं हो, वैसे डाइट हमेशा चूज करें. Agar, even if you are buying from food from outside, there are list of things that you can take care of. That, there shouldn't be too many ingredients in that. And the ingredients, whether it's heart friendly and or going against your heart health. Then third thing I'll say, to, really give your heart a healthy diet, eat a rainbow food. Abhi rainbow diet kya hai? Rainbow आपकी प्लेट में होना चाहिए. Rainbow color. तो रेनबो कलर कहाँ से आता है? बेसिकली आता है फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स से, एंड फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स आर द मोस्ट क्लोजेस्ट टू द नेचर. उसको कम से कम प्रोसेस करके खाना है. सो फर्स्ट थिंग आई विल से, स्टार्ट योर डे विथ वाटर एंड देन गेट टू अ फ्रूट. अब यहाँ पे मैं आपको 3 डाइट बताऊंगी एंड देन आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू टेल यू व्हेन टू ईट दीज थिंग्स. सो पहला डाइट में आप करें जो विच इज वेरी वेरी हार्ट हेल्दी, एक्सट्रीमली हार्ट हेल्दी थिंग, विच इज कॉल्ड पोमोग्रेनेट. पोमोग्रेनेट हमारे हार्ट में जो ऑलरेडी ऑक्सीडेटिव स्ट्रेस और डैमेज हो चुका है उसको प्रिवेंट करता है. तो पोमोग्रेनेट वन कैन ईट इफ यू हैव अ गुड डेंटल हेल्थ. Eat it in the morning, or you can take out extract juice out of it. तो अगर आप जूस रोज पी सकें, wonderful. If you can't, at least try to include once or twice a week, every week. Now, pomegranate contains a lot of antioxidant. As I said, हमारा जो भी उसको prevent करेगा ये oxidative stress और damage को, because it contains so much very high in antioxidant. तो वो हमारे damage को कम करता है, I mean prevent करता है, रोकता है और होने नहीं देता है further. Then second thing I would say is eat an apple. वैसे भी we all must have heard that eating an apple keeps the doctor away, right? So eat an apple every morning. And apple, how are you going to eat? उसको peel कर लीजिए, क्योंकि सबसे ज्यादा pesticide उसके छिलके में होता है. Definitely what apple contains a very important nutrient that I'm going to say is called pectin. पेक्टिन क्या करता है? हमारी जैसे हमने बाहर में ब्रश कर लिया, शावर ले लिया, लेकिन इंटरनल क्लेंजिंग इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, जो हमारा लिवर और किडनी करता रहता है. बट विथ डाइट व्हाट यू आर डूइंग, यू आर क्लेंजिंग योर गॉल ब्लैडर with pectin. Pectin helps in cleansing even gallbladder, and it helps in lowering LDL. Then apple gives you the natural fiber and natural carbohydrate. So carbohydrate is very important to eat. So for your heart, second thing that is. Then third is chocolate, not the sweet one. Chocolate is bitter chocolate. वो milk और sweet डाला हुआ chocolate, never have it. Bitter chocolate contains a lot of magnesium, and magnesium is very important for so many thousands of functions in our body. So and magnesium is very important for your heart health. But yeah, if you have a higher potassium, then take care, don't overdo that. Very little amount of chocolate is very good. So go for these 3 things that I am telling you. Start with that. And then when to eat these things. So that is a very good thing to consider, that you should have fruit first thing in the morning before breakfast. Breakfast खाने के पहले आपने जैसे एप्पल काट के रख लिया and have a little juice of pomegranate, and whatever breakfast you have been suggested by your dietitian or nutritionist is you can follow after that. But before that, have this apple every day. Then when you are eating your lunch, before your lunch, try and make sure that you have a bowl full of salad. That's raw food, raw vegetable. लेकिन raw vegetable में भी जिनको digestion का issue है, there is also some contraindications that what you can do in that. But most of the people, if you eat it before your lunch, little raw, it will not harm you. और अगर आप तो भी नहीं खा सकते हैं, तो try and make sure कि जो cooked vegetable है वो पहले एक bowl आपने खा लिया, then proceed with your lunch, whatever is given. And very important here is part is that you should never eat raw food towards evening. तो dinner के पहले कभी भी कोई raw, even if it's fruit, never eat fruit. Even a salad, no fruit with your dinner. क्योंकि हमारा एक हार्मोन है जिसको बोलते हैं मास्टर हार्मोन. हमारा बॉडी फॉलो करता है क्या? सर्केडियन रिदम. You must have heard about it. So I will not go into detail of that. लेकिन circadian rhythm is actually governed by our hormone which is called cortisol. Cortisol जब हम सो के उठते हैं उसको बोलते हैं awakening hormone. हमको जो हमारी नींद खुलती है ना, जब हमारे आंख पे रोशनी पड़ती है तो cortisol ऊपर जाता है. So even your eyes are closed, eyelids are closed, तो आपका cortisol जब ऊपर गया, उसके साथ क्या होता है? Cortisol has a kind of thing that it's a master hormone. It will just take एलिवेट ऑल योर हार्मोन, सबको ऊपर उठाएगा. तो जैसे उसमें डाइजेस्टिव आपके जूसेस जितने हैं और आपका स्टमक एसिड है वो भी बढ़ेगा. जो कि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है हमारे डाइजेशन के लिए। तो जब हम डाइजेस्ट करने के लिए फूड के लिए हमको जो चाहिए वो कॉर्टिसोल हार्मोन तब तक ऊपर रहेगा जब तक सन शाइन कर रहा है। सन जैसे ही इट गोज टुवर्ड्स सेटिंग डाउन, तो वो होने के साथ साथ कॉर्टिसोल को नेचुरली होना चाहिए। मेनी ऑफ अस वी हैव kind of lost that circadian rhythm, so that's a different thing. I'm not going into that, but what I'm saying कि जब हमारा normal होता है, there is no dysfunction in cortisol level, तो हमारा sun के साथ up होता है, and with the time the sun is setting it goes down. तो जब वो नीचे चला जाता है तो कोई भी चीज डाइजेस्ट करना which is raw is very difficult. So try not to eat, and especially if you have a digestive issue, never eat anything raw in the evening. तो ये बातें अगर आपने फॉलो किया कि fruit in the morning, salad in the daytime with before your lunch, and before you're having any meal that has been suggested, follow that diet and have it one bowl of maybe thick soup you can have at night, or stir-fried vegetable at night. So that way, at least you have served your body what it needs, the rainbow diet throughout your day. So just use these few tips that I have given you. And let me tell you that doing these small things, that you do the changes, primary food and secondary food, address in your life, and see how your heart will keep thanking you, keep singing and dancing. So that is definitely going to take you out of all the issues. So thank you very much for today, and thank you for joining this call. Thank you, Dr. Pratiksha.
Yes, thank you, Manisha ji. Thank you very much. I'm sure that all of you have got good tips. So, जैसे इन्होंने बहुत अच्छा बताया कि like about the breakfast and all the rainbow food, and especially the concept like in functional medicine of primary food and the relationship with food and all. So what I'll do is that let us dive little more further into it. So I'm going to pull up some slides and share with you. So what we are doing here is we are practicing like as you know, okay, allopathy mein they talk about carbohydrates, proteins, fats and calories, but I feel that is a very outdated concept, because जैसे इन्होंने बताया कि even if you take less calories but people are fat, and I feel that when you do a combination of the modern scientific techniques and research with the Vedic principles of living, so I have always, as you all are aware, that in my practice I always like to combine the best of the Western methods with the best of what India has to offer, because I feel India always shows the light to the world in terms of spirituality and whatever Vedas have to offer, and how the people during those times, our rishis and people in yoga were living. So what I'm going to share with you is how are we going to have like a diet guideline. Now I want to give a disclaimer over here that no diet could be same for everyone. So we are just giving you the general principles over here. And whenever we are having your individual calls with the dietitian, or you're joining Zoom calls with them in a group session, you can ask your individual issues or settings what is there. Okay, so because as I told you that some people have issues with the water, and also we will not talk about individual stuff. We will just take the common guidelines and follow that. Okay, but the concept is basically both. So the first and most important is that we should have whole foods, plant-based diet. Okay, so that is the whole thing about here. And then we're going to talk about little studies. What are the top 10 heart-friendly foods which you should be having? And of course, what are the yogic principles of healthy eating? And that is where what Manisha ji spoke about the primary food, that is how you eat food, the relationship with the food, and how it connects to your whole force, the life force. So we will be discussing those topics. Okay. So the first point you need to ask yourself is, and that's why it's a question mark. This is, as I told you, that this session is very introspective. Introspective मतलब जो आपको स्वाध्याय करना है, you just have to ask yourself the questions. I don't want any one of you to feel guilty or beat yourself up or feel bad. It's okay, because we are all on the path of progress, okay, and we can make changes at any point of time in life. So the first thing is that uh, there is a lot of food which is made nowadays. The biggest problem is that the pesticides and from where your food is coming. Okay, so we need to question that also. So because what has happened is that because of the pesticide residues and the way the food is made, even if we are eating healthy food, we may not get the results, because the pesticides and all this food in this food, they will disrupt our hormones, and they are also low in nutrients. So nowadays we have got access to organic food. So if we can choose organic food is cultivated differently. Okay, so organic food is available, the organic produce is available in the stores. It is not available with our bhaiya who is sitting on the road. So you will have to in India, basically Big Basket or Amazon Fresh, like Nature's Basket. So you can see all those that, and try to choose organic food as much as possible. And that will be much more better choice to make. And yes, I agree that it is a little bit on the higher side, but it is an investment in your health, because what is important is that you should not be putting those harmful chemicals in your body. So that is the first choice. Second thing is that world over, vegetarian food jo hai, like that is plant based, that is the only food which has been researched which can actually reverse the heart blockages. अभी जैसे इंडिया में सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है कि या इंडिया इज अ वेजिटेरियन नेशन, बट व्हाई इंडिया हैज गॉट सो मेनी हार्ट पेशेंट्स? नाउ we are vegetarians, but what are we eating? If you're eating samosas, pav vadas, bhajiyas, puris, puri bhaji, aloo bhaji, then okay, yes, it is vegetarian, but it is not heart healthy. So today we are going to discuss that how to be actually whole foods, plant based, which is heart healthy. I think that is what is the main thing. And we have seen that all the patients in last 20 years, since 1999, whoever has been following with these principles have got very high success rate in controlling their heart problems and preventing it. Okay, not only that, plant-based diets have also shown to reduce the medications, reduce the inflammations. जैसे अभी मनीषा जी ने बताया pomegranates, it has got a lot of antioxidants, right? So this is all helpful in controlling the problem. So we will talk more about this. And first thing is about the water intake. Now only people who have got like after heart attack or who has got low pumping of the heart, we restrict the water to 1 liter. But the most of the people whose heart function is normal, around 50-60%, can have up to 8 glasses of water a day. And yes, as what Manisha ji said, that having first 1 glass of water in the morning is very good. It is like kind of fueling your system. Most of the people don't have water, so you can have water in the morning. If you like warm, you can have warm, but water intake is very, very crucial. And especially people who have got constipation, for them also water intake becomes very crucial. They have to be mindful. And I generally suggest that you can keep your flask or a jar separately. आपका एक जग जो है 8 ग्लास पानी का, आपका जो जग या जार है, आपको सेपरेटली आपके घर में रखना चाहिए, so that you will be sure that you are having that water at the end of the day. So that is very important. Second thing is that when you are consuming plants, as I told you, it is consuming more of, जैसे इन्होंने rainbow जो बोला colors, okay, more of vegetables, fruits. And if you're having, like, suppose say grains, then having more of whole grains, not maida and all those like processed foods. And if you are having like there is something known as non-GMO, which is most of the food is genetically modified. So agar aap non-GMO food khate and products khate, that is very, very good. So consume the food in a most natural, unprocessed state. Okay, so that's the goal. Then when you are going plant based, the good part is that if you're, that means that you're not eating chicken, mutton, keema, and all those kind of things. The good part is that your calories actually are not much restricted, because, and it also helps you to lose the weight, because if you're going to have more of fruits and vegetables and all those and less of the grains and everything, then definitely you are going to be much better. Now there are two things which are coming up, like especially people with diabetes. We have seen that small frequent meals help, because your sugar should not go low. Most of you are taking medications and all those things, and you also have to avoid too much of hunger, and have this small frequent meals so that energy levels are constant. Okay, I am going to discuss intermittent fasting and all those things at a little later stage, because I know that is very much in fashion and discussion nowadays. So I'm going to talk about it, that about who can do it. But let me just first talk about the general guidelines, because what happens is at our center, we are treating very, very critical heart patients or people with lot of medications and everything. So this we have seen helps them, because we cannot get their sugar too low or too high, because anything which is fasting or feasting, we have seen affects the sugar levels. And 80% of the heart patients are diabetics. So we have to be very, very careful out here. Now, the non-fat dairy foods, okay? So like if you are having egg, then egg white is what is going to give you proteins, and cutting out the yellow part. And you can have the milk, which is low fat milk, or you can get skimmed milk also nowadays. So that which is not, that is non-fat dairy food. So and generally the another question also comes up about the alcohol part of it. Generally I am, if you ask from the yogic perspective, I am not in support of smoking or alcohol. But some people have the habits of alcohol, or they do social drinking. So uh, alcohol, if at all consumed, maybe one serving, but not too many, because many people are thinking that wine is going to help in cholesterol levels and all that. But I would say that there are a lot of better things to work on your cholesterol. So alcohol is definitely not recommended, but if you are having it maybe once in a while, maybe one serving can be had. The problem with alcohol is the munchings along with it. That is all the fried fatty foods and all those things which are had with alcohol. That is the bad part, because, and especially a beer, it is known to increase the triglycerides and all. So if you can stay away from alcohol, that's the best thing to do. If you're having alcohol, the best thing to do is start practicing yoga and pranayam, and automatically the joy which you will feel, uh, a day will come that you will not need that alcohol. Okay, I have seen many patient testimonials telling me that. So people who cannot give up alcohol, I strongly recommend that please stick to the yoga meditation practices every day. And the joy which you will get with the yoga and meditation, alcohol will drop by itself. And because the only thing alcohol does is stimulates your brain and gives you a good feel, but it damages your system in a very bad way. So it is not a good way of getting joy. There are better ways. Okay, so that is about the alcohol. Then most important thing is that we are not talking of like nowadays there is also a lot of this keto diet coming into thing, like high fat and intermittent fasting. What we have seen with keto diets, the problem is that there is a good weight loss, there is a good improvement in diabetes, but keto diet just plays around with your lipid profile. We have seen that the cholesterol levels goes up like anything. So if we want to control the, we have to control the fats in our food, because and if you see that most of the people who have got heart problems, they are indulging into a lot of fried foods and fatty foods and all those things. So avoiding the calories from fats is very, very important. And you can also, like, if you want the milk, nowadays there is a soy milk option, almond milk option, that there are non-dairy options. So if you like that and can afford that, those are good options to have. Or if not, then non-fat skim milk. Now, coming to tea and coffee, I think India is a culture where tea is so common. And the problem with tea is that people are having like 7 to 8 cups a day, chai cutting, like all the time. And the problem is that tea has got tannic acid. And originally, actually, in ancient India, when we were having tea, the milk was not actually added. It is after the British came in, we got all this current form which is there, and we actually forgot our roots. So the green tea is something which is very, very good because it has got a lot of antioxidants and polyphenols. In fact, green tea has got factors which can help you to reduce the weight also. So if you like tea, what I would suggest is that the green tea which is there, you can get from Organic India and all. There are a lot of good combinations with herbs like tulsi, ashwagandha, and all those things, because ashwagandha and all this along with the green tea will calm you down. Okay, so you can take green tea, which is very, very healthy, but avoid the traditional tea because they are boiling the tea leaves and then adding the milk and the sugar and all. It is not at all healthy. It is just for the taste you are consuming. Okay, so and if you don't want to give up completely, maybe have 1 cup in like in a day, or max 2 cups, but have it without sugar or something like that. But if you can give it up, that's the best thing to do. Okay, now coming to coffee, many people have problems like in heart, where their heart rate is increasing. Okay, and some people with coffee, the heart rate can shoot up to 100, 110 and all, because it has got caffeine. Okay, so you have, but caffeine from the coffee is okay. It is not something bad for your health. It is okay. It is good for your health. But you have to see that whether the coffee is it increasing your heart rate, whether your body is able to tolerate or not. So if you have any issues, you can individually discuss with us, but I just wanted to give you a general guideline. Whatever you do, just keep, if you're having coffee also, keep the intake less, because too much of coffee can actually reduce can cause arrhythmias and all those things. Okay, and I had like, I think maybe our good friend Dan will share the story that he was having so much of coffee, and then the good part was that he gave up coffee, and then it had a good effect on his heart, maybe. So I think that coffee is something which if you can avoid, it is good, but if you're having, then have it in limited quantities. So stimulants, as far as possible, restrict them. Then, as I told you that animal protein, like just like meat hai, like chicken, mutton, or whatever you're having, if you can totally not have, excellent. But if you're having, just keep it very, very less. And if you want to have animal protein, then you can talk to our dietitian, because we'll have to restrict the portion. Especially, we have seen a lot of problems with creatinine levels, the kidney function levels. If you are having diabetes, diabetic nephropathy and everything, then many times the kidney function is not good. Okay, and we have to restrict on those animal proteins, because it can affect the function of the kidneys, because any animal protein is very heavy to digest and also more of work for the kidneys. Okay, so eliminate it, remove it, or if you want to have, you can discuss the portions for the healthy options and limited options, what quantity, with our dietitians. Now, anything which is white is bad, like the white sugar, you have to eliminate. Safed atta, the white, has to be eliminated. And all these packed foods and processed foods have got a lot of preservatives. So anything what you see actually which is packed or processed, it is better to keep out of your kitchen, because that is everything which is going to be unhealthy. That's like a golden rule. And most important thing is the omega-3 fatty acids. So at our center, we are doing omega testing. So if you want to do your omega testing, you can coordinate. Dr. Prasad will put in the chat the numbers. You can book a test for omega testing with us. Omega-3 fatty acids are extremely important. Flax seeds is a good plant source, but many times, like, our body has to convert this into the EPA, DHA and all. It doesn't happen. We may have to take different sources. So we do consultation on omega-3 fatty acids. With the testing, we find out that if it is less, then what are the other options which we can help you with as supplements, so that we can restore back your normal levels. Okay, so in short, anything which is like a bad fat. Now, why are we telling you not to eat outside food, restaurant food? हम होटल में जाते हैं तो वहाँ क्या होता है कि ये लोग पामोलिन का जो वो पामोलिन तेल, पामोलिन घी and all that, with dalda ghee, they use very cheap fats actually to cook the meals, which are trans fats, saturated fats, partially hydrogenated fats. These are very, very bad because they cause free radicals and they are actually damaging the arteries of the heart. Okay, because you have seen that outside when they are making that vada or samosa, wohi tel mein ghadi ghadi, they are like whole day that they are burning the same oil. So whatever that vada pav and samosa which we are eating, or whatever food which we have had from outside, papdi, fafda, jalebi, gathia, whatever you say, everything is loaded with actually this trans fats, which is going to go and damage your heart arteries. So this has to be totally avoided. Okay, there is, even if you want to eat samosas, there is something known as baked samosas. आजकल हमारे पास इलेक्ट्रिक ओवन होती है, आप समोसा बेक कर सकते हैं, so that you are not getting into this bad fats or something like that. And I say worst case scenario, अगर आपका बहुत ही मन करता है कि आपको कुछ फ्राइड खाना है, तो जो you have got this sunflower oil or something, you just like cook it once and then don't use it again. Okay, but quantity has to be limited to 1 or 2, max once in a month or something like that. But if you can avoid it, it is great. Go into the baking options, learn to train your mind, and to train your mind, yoga becomes important. Okay, now coming back to dry fruits. Okay, because like certain fats, because many patients say that, okay, we are just having fruits and vegetables and we feel very hungry. So the healthy fats comes from the nuts. Okay, so like suppose, but like almond, like, and that's why in our diet we also say that you soak overnight almond, like 5 almonds. You can have up to like 15 almonds total in a day, but one low fat serving is like 3 grams, so around 5 almonds. And like suppose if you want to eat cashews, then it is just 2 cashews, so you cannot just like have a bunch full of cashews and all. Okay, so we have given diet book to all of you. We are doing the consultations with you. You can ask that what is your individual liking, and then we can help you with this nuts and seeds, what we want, what you can have. But this is a good news that you can have certain amount of nuts which is going to be heart healthy and can help you. So that is the thing. Coming to the heart friendly foods. Okay, Manisha ji has already covered about the rainbow thing, but main thing is green leafy vegetables. Like आपकी diet में रोज जो है, जैसे पालक है, spinach जिसे कहते हैं spinach, पालक, you have romaine lettuce, you have got iceberg lettuce, so you have got different like we have got methi ki bhaji, this amaranth, lot of green vegetables are there. Green leafy vegetables at least should be there every day in your diet in some or the form. If you don't like, then just make a soup and have it. But green leafy vegetables is very important. Then cauliflower, cabbage, all those things are there. Okay, then like we get strawberries, like whatever berries you get. I think Bombay strawberry is something which is available, which is seasonal. Then there are beans. So or legumes, like, so we have got different types of lentils and dals which are there. If you like mushrooms, and mushrooms are also good for the heart. Onion and garlic is very good. we recommend that in your diet. If you're a Jain and don't want to have, that is a different story, but they are heart healthy because they have got a lot of antioxidant compounds. We spoke about nuts. Then flax seeds are good, chia seeds are good. These are all, but in very less quantity. You cannot have more. Tomatoes are good because they are high in carotenoids, but you have to see, some people have got acidic tendencies and they can't eat sour foods. So you have to see, because as I told you, these are general guidelines. And pomegranates and cherries are very, very good because they have got very high antioxidant level and it reduces oxidative stress. Okay, so these are the foods which you can incorporate in your diet. Now, coming to the yogic principles. Okay, so this is uh like how is our relationship with the food, what is our state of mind, because what Manisha ji said in the earlier was very right. Like, even if you have healthy food but you are stressful at work, and even if we have healthy food, but whether it is being digested, absorbed in your system, okay, that also has to be seen. So in the Vedas and in the yoga, what we are talking about food is into sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. So as you have seen that today the basic problem which we are facing is that most of the food which we are eating is tamasic, okay, because we are ordering from outside, we are getting it from outside, and then we have leftovers. मतलब फ्रिज में सोमवार का भात होता है, मंगलवार का दाल होता है, फिर बुधवार को हम कुछ सब्जी के साथ वो राइस और दाल खाते हैं. सो यू नो, एनी फूड विच इज देयर, अगर आपने कोई भी फ्रूट कट किया, ठीक है, तो फ्रूट इज सात्विक. बट अगर आप वो फ्रूट कट करके 3 दिन के बाद खाएंगे तो एज पर योगा इट बिकम्स तामसिक, यू नो, बिकॉज उसके सेल्स जो है वो डिजेनरेट होने लगते हैं. तो आजकल वो फ्रीजिंग मेथड से हमने चलो ये किया हुआ है, दैट इज फाइन. बट if you really want to get into sattva, and that truly, that if you are also practicing yoga and meditation, then I have personally seen that I am not getting into frozen foods, eating fresh fruit and vegetables, the fresh produce, because अगर आपने फ्रूट भी काटा, जैसे एप्पल मैडम ने बोला खाना है सुबह, तो एप्पल काटा जैसे ही काटा खा लिया, नॉट मेकिंग इट वेट, बिकॉज आपने देखा है एप्पल काटने के बाद भी आप देखिए पूरा ऑक्सीडाइज हो जाता है, उस पर ब्राउन कलर आ जाता है, राइट. सो दैट इज ऑलरेडी एटमॉस्फेरिक रिएक्शन, इट इज गेटिंग इनटू तमस. ओके, सो सात्विक, राजसिक एंड तामसिक. सो जो भी नॉन वेजिटेरियन फूड है, अगर आप पहले भी अगर आप देखा होगा देव और असुर, आपने देखा है कि असुर का जो खाना था वो ज्यादातर इट वाज ऑल दिस मीट एंड ऑल दिस तामसिक फूड. And what happens with tamasic food? It leads to a very dull, angry, irritable, impulsive mind. So if you really want to enjoy your life and be into that sattva, be peaceful, you know, have that joy, have that clarity, then you have to eat more of sattvic foods, because whatever food you will eat will actually affect your mind. Okay, and many times like we have rajasic food also, sometimes you have to do combination, because what happens is, that's why generally in lunch I always say that, you know, having some of rajas is good, because you know you are working during the day and you want to be active and positive, and you know, like you have to do the work. So whenever we are using the herbs and spices and all those things, and even onion and garlic come into the rajasic category, a little bit of stimulation which is there. Okay, so that is also okay, because it helps you to work. And sattvic is the best, and you can do a combination of sattvic and rajasic depending on your status of work and how actively you want to do it. And tamasic is something to be totally avoided. So अभी आप बैठ के एक एनालिसिस कीजिए, आपके फूड, अभी आप जो खाना खा रहे हैं उसमें क्या क्या तामसिक है और क्या आप उसको एलिमिनेट कर सकते हैं. That is very important exercise which you will have to do. Second thing is कि खाना खाने के पहले, जैसे what is the relationship with your food? हम खाना खाते हैं तो कैसे खाना खाते हैं? टीवी देखते हैं, फिर बातें करते हैं, we are not at all actually with the food. That is mindless eating. So we have to have mindful eating habits. Okay, that's very important. So first we have to like pray, जैसे कि जगत माता है, like जो अपने जो भी आप भगवान को, जैसे हमारे पहले वो इंडिया में एक कस्टम थी कि हम पहले भगवान को खाना धराते थे, मतलब ऑफर करते थे, और उनको मतलब कि जैसे भगवान ने खाने में कॉस्मिक फोर्सेस डाल दिए है, और हम जो खाना खा रहे हैं उससे हमारी हेल्थ अच्छी हो रही है, और हमारी बुद्धि अच्छी हो रही है, और हमारी आत्मा की शुद्धि हो रही है. सो देयर वाज अ डीप मीनिंग इन दैट culture and that prayer. So when we are eating food, we have to say, give us food for health and prosperity of the body, efficiency of the mind, and above all, love and wisdom for the soul. Okay, so this is a simple prayer. If you want, you can write it down, or there are a lot of prayers which are there, which you must be knowing you can do. But first, please make it a habit for 2 minutes, thanking Annapurna Devi, Divine Mother, God, that you have got food on table. That's very, very important. There are millions of people who are sleeping hungry. At least God has given us that food. Do not watch TV or read books and do all those things, because you are not doing justice to the food. Okay. Avoid lengthy conversations. Most of the times क्या होता है, डिनर टेबल पे वो महाभारत का युद्ध हो जाता है. पेरेंट्स और बच्चे रहते हैं तो एक दूसरे की, तूने ये नहीं किया, वो नहीं किया, वाइफ हस्बैंड को कुछ बोल रहे हैं, बच्चे कुछ बोल रहे हैं, और so that whole eating place becomes like a very noisy place. So whenever have a rule at home कि अगर आप लोग खाना खा रहे हो, so all of you are going to focus on the chewing part of it. That's the most important thing. क्योंकि आपका डाइजेशन पेट से शुरू नहीं होता है, आपका डाइजेशन मुंह से शुरू होता है. इट डाइजेशन स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम योर माउथ, बिकॉज द मोर यू विल च्यू प्रॉपरली, अपने जो सलाइवा है उसके अंदर एंजाइम्स होती है, एमाइलेज, तो वो ऑलरेडी आपका जो जितना वो सलाइवा उसके साथ मिक्स होता है फूड के साथ, उतना आपका डाइजेशन प्रोसेस बेटर होगा. सो आयुर्वेदा में भी कहा है कि आपको जो फूड है उसका जो चूइंग जो है, that is extremely important. So you have to be mindful, because we have seen people just eating in 5 minutes it's over. So ये जो सब आधी बीमारियां हो रही है, because the relationship with food is not good. और अगर आप चलो आप हेल्दी भी खा रहे हो, लेकिन अरे ये क्या खाना है, अभी हार्ट की बीमारी हो गई, ये क्या हम लोग को डायटिशियन ने पनिशमेंट दिया हुआ है, सो इवन इफ यू आर ईटिंग हेल्दी फूड, बट यू आर रिजेंटिंग इट. रिजेंटिंग मतलब आपके अंदर एक घृणा है या चिढ़ है कि क्या बीमारी हो गई और मुझे क्या ये खाना पड़ रहा है. सो यू आर नॉट गिविंग गुड एनर्जी टू दैट फूड. ओके, सो वी हैव टू हैव दिस अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि हम जो खाना खा रहे हैं, द फूड इज फॉर द नरिशमेंट ऑफ माई बॉडी. द फूड इज नॉट फॉर प्लेजरिंग योर सेंसेस, योर टंग एंड एवरीथिंग. Okay, so most of the times what we have seen is that we are actually abusing food and abusing our senses. We are not eating food for nourishing our body. So आज के बाद you have to take a important stand in your life that I'm going to eat the food to nourish my body. Okay, and आप देखिए, जैसे आप बोलेंगे कि कोई बोलेगा कि भाई मुझे गुलाब जामुन बहुत पसंद है. ओके, आई फील गुड व्हेन आई हैव गुलाब जामुन, सो आई विल से ओके, आप गुलाब जामुन लीजिए, आप एकदम खुश हो जाएंगे. देन आई गिव यू सेकेंड, देन आई गिव यू थर्ड, देन आई गिव यू फोर्थ. मे बी आपकी कैपेसिटी कितनी होगी, आप खाएंगे 5 खाएंगे या 10 खाएंगे, बट आफ्टर दैट यू से आई कांट ईट, एंड that 11th or the 12th gulab jamun will become a pain. Okay, so the question to ask yourself is that, is the happiness in gulab jamun, or is the happiness in that rasgulla, or Dan, is that happiness in the donut which we want, so is the, because many times we are associating that happiness with some food, that I want to eat this and all. Okay, so basically we will be having that separate time on cravings, because how to control the food cravings, that is a separate topic by itself. Maybe I will cover up, because we crave for all these foods, right? कि मुझे ये खाना है, वो खाना है. जैसे अभी मनीषा जी ने बोला चॉकलेट खाना है, बहुत लोग खुश हो गए, अरे चॉकलेट खाने बोल दिया, चलो आज तो बहुत अच्छा दिन निकला, चॉकलेट खाने को ऑफिशियली बोला. बट इट इज डार्क चॉकलेट, इट इज बिटर. अगर आपने, बिकॉज आई हैव दिस ककाओ पाउडर which is kadwa, it is bitter. Dark chocolate is very good, I also have it, but it's very kadwa. It is not fun to have it, okay? But it is good if you want, if you can tolerate that taste. So if you want to eat chocolate, it is not with sugar but it is dark chocolate which is there, you get your, it is available, okay? But it is without sugar, you are having it. If you want to experience that. So what I want to tell you is that choose food for your health. Learn to train your tongue. It is not for your senses. And do the right things and for your heart health. Okay. So that was our message today for like the right diet for the heart health. And I just want to give you like important points. I just want to wind up, and I want Dan to share something with us also. So first and foremost, as I told you, eat more plant-based, which is whole foods, okay? The healthy things. When I talk of plants, I'm talking of what Manisha told about the rainbow colors, the fruits and the vegetables. So if you have like almost 70-80% of your diet of fruits and vegetables, and hardly 20% which is solid food, which is your grains, you will be really doing fantastically well. Avoid the bad fats, all the bad fats. You can have healthy fats in terms of nuts and like non-dairy, as I told you, some milk or something which is there, okay? And the third thing is that have the right relationship with the food. That is most important, the right state of mind, and getting more into the sattvic food. So with this, I hand over to Dan, my friend. Where are you? You're going to speak up?
I'm here.
Yes.
Yes, can you hear? Yes.
Yes.
Good to see you, Prashivyog. Good to see you. Thank you for asking me to be present on this wonderful presentation that you're doing. As always, they're wonderful. First, I want to thank you and to thank all those in this clinic. As when I was here 6 years ago and I avoided an open heart surgery that had been scheduled and my heart was healed with non-invasive procedures, I was impressed then. But now that I'm back to get over some other problems, but not that problem, but a different kind of problems, I'm overwhelmed. I feel like I'm under the care of angels here on the earth. In my years of dealing with medical professionals, as I've gotten older, I have to look back, and all the times I've dealt with medical professionals, I've never been around medical professionals that were focused on my whole health. And that is what's so amazing in the great work that you and those here are doing. Focused on my whole health, not just my heart, but everything in my body that's going on, the stresses that are causing me health problems, all those things. I've never been around doctors who are more attentive and proactive and looking at all parts of my health and helping me improve all parts of my health. In my profession as lawyers, in the last 5 to 10 years, lawyers have started adding seminars on what we call lawyer well-being, is the title we've given it, lawyer well-being. And you'll be glad to know, just attended one last week, and it's more common now. Almost every one of those all-day conferences on lawyer well-being has a session on yoga and meditation. So we're trying to get better. And I've come to understand in being here this time, and all the things I'm learning, and all the healthy eating that you've just explained and taught is so important, because we're not learning that. That's got to be added. We've gotten smart enough to add yoga training to our well-being conferences and seminars, but we now need to add this healthy eating like you've been telling us today, because that's not being taught. The revelation that I've had, unfortunately, our profession has come to the point where the only time you can get assistance with your health as a professional lawyer in a high-stress job is if you have a drug problem or an alcohol problem. And we have programs that pay all the costs of your rehabilitation program for alcohol or drug help. But there are no programs in our profession to help people with health problems. Nobody's looking at our whole health problem. And tragically, in the last 4 months, which confirmed to me how important the work you're doing is on preventive heart care. I had 2 lawyer friends about my age and 1 judge in the last 4 months who died of heart attacks. And I'm thinking, how could they have died of a heart attack at their age, in their late 60s, early 70s? Wonderful people. And suddenly one just died of an unexpected massive heart attack. And I think he was a very prominent judge that I had a lunch with only a few months ago. And I'm thinking, how could this man die? Who was not watching over him? Who was not doing the preventive care that you were engaged in? And I now understand our profession. When I go back to America, I'm going to get busy getting lawyers to realize we don't just need drug and alcohol. You don't have to have a drug or alcohol problem to get help with your whole health as a professional in a stressful job. But we need to have your assistance and the work that you're doing to assist lawyers in this profession to look at their whole health and do preventive work without them having to get a drug problem or an alcohol problem before they get any help with their health. So thank you for all this great work you're doing. It's so important. It's so important. As I say, we're learning quickly about yoga, and we're starting to be trained in yoga. We never had it, but there's so much more that you're offering, like the things you're teaching today, even our diet. That's not available anywhere. Nobody's doing that unless you got an alcohol or drug problem. Well, unless you have a weight problem, nobody's going to teach you how to eat properly for your health, like you've had the lessons on today. So the whole health focus that what you're doing is so important. And I hope, someone's going to have to come here to India to get this kind of whole health approach. And I hope that you're going to do more to help us bring that kind of an approach to America, because this is so needed. The preventive care is what we really need. And you're a trailblazer in doing this, Prashivyog, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for the great work you're doing for me, but I know for so many others. Thank you for doing that.
Yes. Thank you, Dan. And what I wanted, there was a question by Mr. Srinivas about the oil. Okay. So the oil is like, as we told you that when we are talking about the fats, oil generally, any oil is actually, they say olive oil is good, monosaturated fats, because olive oil is monosaturated and all those things. But we have seen that any excess use of oil is bad. So generally we recommend like 2 teaspoons of oil in the entire day, which could be used in the cooking. And when our dietitians are talking, it is like, how can you cook with minimal oil or no oil, making more of gravies and everything. Okay. So oil, then they talk about rice bran oil, safflower oil, and there are a lot of oils, and they do a lot of these marketing things. But end of the day, any type of oils, when they are consumed, are actually not very good and healthy. Okay. But at the same time, if you want to use, keep it very, very minimal. What I would encourage is that you can learn actually healthy cooking without using much of oil. Okay. And that is what it is. So I don't know. I think I cannot see Mr. Rao here. Maybe Dr. Prasad, you can talk to him later on that we are address this question. And anything else? Lataji, I'm happy that you're going to change your diet, and organic grocery you have written you can help with. If you want to share, you want to come up and talk, you're most welcome. I can see Elena over here. Elena, you want to share something? How is your trip going on in India? You look happy. Yeah. You want to say something, Elena? You want to come on board?
You have to unmute yourself.
You'll have to unmute yourself, Alina.
Okay. Hello, there you are.
Yes.
Yes, all the information that you have said, I think is very, very important. And I have actually, way before you even mentioned that, about, spraying your food down with oil, So I use like a spritzer in my fryer instead of deep frying. I can't tell you when last I ever deep fried anything. So it's really important. And what the man from Tennessee said, Dan, I think is his name.
Yeah.
We definitely need dietitians who really know what they're talking about. The dietitians who we talk to in the States, they don't know what they're talking about. And they don't really pay attention to the individual. That is what we lack in the States. Really.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you are bringing it over the waters and bringing it for us so that we can definitely, work together. That would be great. I'm really praying for this thing to happen in the States, the whole package.
Thank you. Okay,
Yeah, the
thank
whole
you.
package. I really want it. I want it in the
Yes.
States
Thank you
because
so much.
yeah, everybody that I talk to, all my friends, how did your sessions go? You haven't said anything. I said it went wonderful. I said we've done a lot of walking. We've gone a lot of places and we've walked a lot, and it's great. So I thank you guys. You guys are our angels.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's so sweet, Alina. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Good
So
seeing
thanks
you.
for sharing. Yes. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yes. So main thing, as everyone is sharing out here, the problem is universal because जो conventional medicine है, it is not giving importance to the diet. In fact, most of the foods, even in US or in hospitals in India, they are not very healthy or something which you can really look forward to. So somewhere, and the main reason is that because in our medical curriculum, we are hardly talk about diet, and the cardiologist get 0 hours training actually when they're doing their study in cardiology. They get 0 hours of training in nutrition, 0 hours. So what has happened is that everybody is into this blockage, fixing it with stent or the surgery. That's it. Nobody is looking into that what is causing the problem. And that's why I feel that the functional nutritionist become very, very important, that who will analyze your entire lifestyle, how you are living your life and your thinking patterns and your eating patterns and your relationship with food, and not only the type of food and everything. So it's a total program which is there. And I'm glad that you all like this concept. Feel free, so every week we have this dietitians calls which are happening in the settings. Please talk to them with your individual issues, whatever is there in those settings. Write to us. We are very, very, very proactive, I would say. At least I am personally extremely fanatic about the right diet. I feel it's very, very important for heart health. If you solve that problem, half of your problem is solved. So please take this very, very seriously. And I think that it is a great investment of your time actually to train your body and your mind to eat the right foods at the right time and which is nourishing. So with this, I thank you all, and thank you Dan and Alina for sharing. Thank you Manisha ji, and we will see you again next month. Thank you.